Taurus, hi. So this is going to be a reading for May 18th through the 24th. And I'll take a look into your recent past, your current energies, and your immediate future. And then I'll close it off with a couple of cards from the universe for you. And these are general readings, so they may not resonate for all of you. If they do, there is an extended. At the end of the video, you can check out the link for that in the description box below if you want. Let's see, Taurus. The overall energy for the reading, the Nine of Swords. Something's bugging you, something's on your mind here. Let's see what's up. In the recent past, the Three of Wands, the High Priestess, the Death card. You're kind of giving me a sense of feeling that something's done. So you're not... There's not that's not a scenario in which, you know, you say or somebody else says, okay, we're done here or whatever. No, after some time has passed over something, your intuition is kicking in and saying, this is done. This is a goner, you know? So I'm not sure what that is, but okay. In the current situation, the Sun, the Nine of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups. Whew, you're not super connected to yourself. So that's what's on your mind, basically. It's just your mind that's functioning. Because there's a sense of happiness and a sense of you feeling like you got it. And it's right there. It's right there attached to you and you're not feeling it. You're disconnected from that. You're just not connected to your heart much at this moment in time. So whatever's keeping you busy in your mind, it's not allowing you to connect to yourself much. In the immediate future, the Five of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups. Well, this is a situation in which you're telling me, I'm done with that. Okay, so you're done with something here. And not only are you done with it, it's whatever that is that you're kind of shutting down here. You're telling me it taught you the value of seeking happiness rather than whatever this offered you. So it kind of taught you or showed you the contrast of what you want for yourself, you know? Okay, let's see what's going on here. You're a little bit disconnected here, but let's see. For the Nine of Swords, you get the Eight of Pentacles, the Two of Cups, the King of Wands. This could be regret. This could be regret over something that didn't work out. But you're giving me a sense over it of it should have worked out. But then it didn't. Yeah, I think that's regret, but it's not something recent. It's not something you just got over and, oh, you know, I wish it would have worked out. It's over something that almost feels like a lifetime ago, but at the same time, it feels like it happened yesterday too. So it's a little bit odd, but it's definitely a regret. For the Three of Wands, in the recent past, you get the Two of Pentacles, the Hermit, the Queen of Swords. Yeah, for the longest time, you just didn't know what to do about a situation here. You were kind of just undecided, just not making up your mind about it. Even though on the surface, you looked like, no, I know what's up here, I know. Yeah, no. From an energetic standpoint, you kind of left something up in the air. Mentally speaking, you probably even convinced yourself that, no, I resolved that situation. No, you haven't. No, you haven't, but you managed to convince the world and yourself that you have. But the energy was left up in the air. It wasn't resolved. It wasn't nothing. For the High Priestess, you get the Justice card, the Nine of Wands, the Page of Swords. And probably having a very hard time accepting the reality that that whole chapter was wrapped up, basically, because you didn't attend to it anymore. In your mind, you were done with it, so why would you attend whatever that was? And then there's this whole inner rejection towards the fact that, realistically speaking, that situation was chapter closed. You know, it was done. So there's a little bit of struggle there with accepting where things were at. For the Death card, you get the Ten of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, the Strength card. Yeah, again, on the surface, you almost look like, you know, I've dealt with an experience here. Oh man, it didn't work out, so I'll just move on, right? Energetically speaking, that wasn't the case at all. Whatever that was never really addressed, never really wrapped up, never really nothing. It was just left up there into the universe, like whatever. Then, even as you show up on the surface with the sense of, hey, this didn't work out and I'm just going to move on, there's a gap of something in there between those two actions that kind of show you rejecting the aspect of this being done. So just not accepting it done, even though you're the one that's saying, no, it's done. I'm done with this. I'm moving on. You know, so I'm trying to figure out where the energy is at. Really, not what you're telling me, but where the energy is at. And I feel like it's still kind of left up in the air. And I feel like that's where this regret applies over whatever that was. Because it's one thing, you're presenting me one story here of how you perceived it and how you saw yourself going through it, and then there's the truth of it. You know, because I look at the energies and I'm like, they don't match. They don't coincide. So there's something else happening underneath the surface there. Okay. So I get the sense that, again, that energy hasn't really been closed off. That chapter there. For the Sun, in the current situation, you get the Queen of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, the Death card. That's what it is. So the energy of happiness, well, you're kind of telling me I shut that down over there. You know, when that shut down, my happiness shut down. You're almost like telling me I haven't been happy since, or something like that. Okay. Let me do the Nine of Pentacles. In the current situation, you get the Ace of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands, the Seven of Swords. Yeah, your drive is missing. Like there's a lot of, I think your mind, your something is taking you back to that energy, and that's where you draw all these conclusions from. You know, whatever happened there, when you buried whatever that was, you also buried your happiness, by the looks of it, in your conclusions now, and also your drive for new experiences, for new chapters. Your drive is missing. Like, you've been through new chapters. Obviously, you shut that down. Of course, life went on, right? But like, it's almost like that part of next chapters after that is irrelevant. It's like, whatever, you know? Not interested. My actual drive is missing ever since. Your happiness, your drive, your openness to new chapters. Let's do the Eight of Cups. In the current situation, you get the Knight of Pentacles, the Sun, the Lovers. Yeah, you're attaching happiness to that experience there. That, again, in your mind, it's shut down. Chapter closed. It's in the past. You don't even look back at it. It's fine where it's at. But right now, it's not fine because you're quite nostalgic about it. And not only that, it's beyond nostalgic. You associate your happiness with whatever that was. So there's almost a need to be happy again, you know? And again, as much as you're reinforcing this ending over that chapter, energetically speaking, that never ended. It was just left up in the air. You know? It's there. Okay. Let me do the Five of Pentacles in the immediate future. The Eight of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands. You just want to start over. You want to start fresh, and you want to feel that feeling of, hey, you know, I'm turning a new leaf. I'm starting over. But it's not about starting over. It's about the feeling of it. That's what you're trying to bring up here, you know. But with that, it's almost like a forceful type of a starting over, because it almost looks like you just want to end everything that you're part of right now in order to kind of push yourself into, okay, now I'm dealing with something new, so I'm definitely going to feel that, you know. So it's almost like leaving everything behind and just starting fresh. Okay. Let me do the Page of Pentacles. In the immediate future, you get the Six of Swords, the Six of Cups, the Hierophant. You're being followed here by whatever you're leaving in the past, just like that. Like, I just want to leave it all in the past. Some of those energies that you're leaving there are following you around. They're like, hey, wait for me, wait for me. I don't know what's going on here. I do see you going definitely for a fresh start. And then as you start walking away from everything, basically, I do see some energies, you know, pick me, wait for me, right there. I'm not sure if you are, though, because that's not part of your plan here. Your plan is to leave everything behind. So I can't tell if you're kind of making room on your boat for these other energies or not that want to come with. For the Ten of Cups in the immediate future, you get the Star, the Seven of Pentacles, the Moon. It looks good, ultimately. But, like, if you think that's going to solve that problem over there, that you're so... I mean, you're the one that's coming in and saying, my happiness is enclosed in that cage of that chapter. You know, if you think that's going to be resolved, and somehow by you starting fresh, your happiness is going to be released from that chapter, I don't think so. You know, I don't think this is going to solve your problems. It might solve whatever pickles you may find yourself in, and whatever self-entrapment type of energies you may find yourself in, but it won't address that problem, because that's still an open problem. As much as you stubbornly show up and say, no, it's closed, I closed it. Yeah, but energetically it's not closed. So there's still some stuff there that need to be sorted through. For your own sake. You know, you said your happiness is in there, go in there and get it. You know, energetically speaking. You don't have to knock at anybody's door there and be like, hey, old chapter, I'm here. But energetically speaking, it stayed open for you to go and do your healing, whatever needs to be done there. You know, let me see what the universe has as a final advice for you. The King of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, the Two of Wands. Yeah, you're taking all of this from a very practical angle here, in which you're telling me the conclusion to it all for you is, look, I've been trying to work on myself a lot lately, which is awesome. It's great. We're talking about energies here that are still open in chapters that you think you closed off. So, yeah, while this might help, you need to go address directly that issue, those energies. This is going to help, you know, working on yourself and, you know, self-love and all of that. Fuck yeah. And especially in this new chapter you're trying to open up for you. Yeah, the determination, the drive, the, hey, I'm doing something for me. Awesome. There's a part of your life somewhere in the past there where your mind tells you it's closed off. Energetically speaking, it's not. And usually when that happens, that means there's a very painful lesson in there that you keep on running away from by shutting it down, basically. You know? So no, that part is not closed off. Still open for you to enter. energetically speaking, whenever you want, and start the healing process and go get your happiness back, you know? But anyways, that's what I have for you. Hope this helped, and I'll see you next time.